Hey everyone, this is StarcraftDad, and today I'll be casting a 1 versus 1 between CuePhoenix playing Terran in the red and oacup playing Terran in the blue. Terran versus Terran action on the map Delta Quadrant in the second season of the Blizzard Online ladder. These two players have been playing for the last 2 hours, each playing 8 games apiece before coming to this match. oacup in Gold League winning 7 of his last 8 games, and CuePhoenix in Silver League winning 4 of his last 8 games. Both players are trying to clock in as many games and get as many rank points as they can before the end of this season to try to push themselves to the top of their division. CuePhoenix is 27th in his division and trying to get into the top 25. This will be his last game of the evening, his 9th game, which is the most games that he's played in one evening in quite a long time, building his starting supply depot up here, and oacup building his starting supply depot over here in the upper left. So Delta Quadrant is a 4-player map, where players have their starting base back here, which is pretty far away from their ramp up here. This entrance ramp is pretty small and pretty easy to wall off, which Terrans like. They also have an expansion in the back here that's covered by these destructible rocks, which is a pretty safe expansion to expand into. But of course there's this back platform here where their opponents can set up tanks to shoot down into the mineral line. So it's a safe expansion, but it's kind of a risky expansion all the same. Now their third expansion over here is more exposed, but it is pretty close to the front where most of your units are going to be. But you can see that there's a lot of empty space around the map, a lot of empty space around this backside here, which is why Terrans love this map, as they love to do drops in the back, and of course they love to set up tanks on this high ground here. So these players are doing a little bit of in-game chatter before things start to get rolling, and they're building barracks at the front here, and oacup building a barracks up here. So you can see oacup is going to wall off with 2 supply depot and a barracks. That's pretty standard for the entrance ramp. And CuePhoenix most likely to build a second barracks here, as he hasn't started his supply depot. So CuePhoenix going for a double refinery at the start, putting harvesters on each one, so it looks like he's going to be trying to get a lot of gas early on, and oacup upgrading his command center to an orbital command. This will get him a lot of minerals, as an orbital command will be able to call down mules. Oh, there's one right there coming down. Mules can mine minerals very quickly. They gather more minerals on each trip, so oacup looking to make a lot of minerals. He hasn't built anything else, so it'll be interesting to see what he does, what kind of decision he makes for this game. Delta Quadrant, a pretty straightforward map, able to send units back and forth, pretty straight pathways between each. oacup sending some Marines to check out where CuePhoenix is, sending a Marine over to the Zelnaga Tower and a Marine over to the upper right hand corner, and CuePhoenix sending his scouting SCV to see what's going on. Gonna run into this Marine and take some hits. Getting pretty damaged there. It looks like he might die before he finds out where oacup is. And these 2 Marines going in for the kill, going to kill this little SCV. So he's going to be able to find out that oacup is not in the lower left hand corner, but he's not going to make it out of this expansion area with these 2 Marines. And there he goes, getting destroyed. And if we look over here in oacup's base, he's building, whoa, 6 barracks. He's going for 7 barracks, probably some kind of all-in Marine rush. And he's ahead on supply, 24 to CuePhoenix's 21. Let's see what CuePhoenix is doing. He's building the factory. So just as we thought, CuePhoenix going with a very heavy gas build here. 5 workers on gas, building a factory. He's teching up, building a researching stim pack on this tech lab, and now researching combat shield on this lab, and going for his tech lab on the factory. So he is indeed going for siege tanks. oacup's scouting Marine getting squashed here by these 3 on the high ground. So it looks like CuePhoenix is going for a pretty standard double barracks factory. He'll probably build a starport, maybe over here, and he's upgraded his command center to an orbital command. You can see he's mining with these mules, so he's got a pretty standard build going. But oacup going for the unconventional, starting to send in these handful of Marines. But oh, there he goes, his barracks are done, and he is now building lots of Marines. You can see they're queued up on 2 apiece, so he's making lots of Marines all at once. Interesting thought on the queuing, he could be using those to build some other things, but his focus right now is on building lots of Marines. He's already got a small force here, but at 7 Marines apiece, and you can see he's constantly building those out. Every game 25 seconds in game, he's going to be getting 7 Marines. That's a huge number of Marines. CuePhoenix over here researching his siege mode for his tanks. He's got 1 tank out, just a handful of Marines up here. This is going to be pretty hard to hold off this push. oacup, you can see him clicking around, moving his units over here to the right. Not sure what advantage that's going to give him to kind of go this way. Maybe he's hoping to work around some of CuePhoenix units running through the middle. But here they come up to the ramp. We're going to see if CuePhoenix can hold this off. This is a pretty good sized group of Marines. 14 Marines, a couple of them dying instantly as this tank and these Marines up here just picking them off. And you can see, I don't know what they're trying to target, probably these Marines up here at the front. Everybody's getting damaged pretty well. We turn on the hit point tab and you can see the supply depot's about to go, which is one of oacup's goals to get in. But now he needs to kill off these Marines and kill off this tank. This tank could cause him quite a bit of trouble. It's got it's armored, has a lot of hit points, and has a pretty good DPS when it's unsieged. But once siege mode is researched and the siege tanks start sieging up, these Marines are going to have a lot of trouble. You can see this tank taking a lot of damage. He's now at 35 hit points, but he has 11 kills by himself. A Hellion coming out for backup. Hellions do pretty good damage against light. They do an area effect damage as flame damage as a line. So this SCV coming out to repair this tank. And it looks like CuePhoenix has held off this first rush, but he's supply blocked at 35. So CuePhoenix needs to get back on the ball with his macro. Looks like he's built a starport with a reactor, so he'll be able to build these 2 medevacs or 2 Vikings at a time, or 1 of each, and building another siege tank. This siege tank now going into siege mode, all completely prepared. These Marines now stimming. You can see a little bit of advantage here. Oh, CuePhoenix's Marines stuck on each other. He really needs to move them up to the front here. Although he will take some damage from the siege tank. So these, a bunch of Marines, an SCV and a siege tank. This SCV and the siege tank being able to hold them off purely by the siege tank's area of effect damage. A second siege tank coming out now, 2 medevacs coming out to heal this SCV. You can see he's back up to full health, and these Marines don't stand a chance. And oacup needs to take some pause. I think, let's see if this Marine goes in for the sacrifice. No, he's not. Okay, so oacup taking a little break here, routing these Marines back together. And now he's got to decide how to migrate out of this 7 Marine push, because he can still build a ton of Marines, but every siege tank that CuePhoenix builds and puts at this front door makes it harder for his Marines to get up the ramp. And his Marines have to get to the top of the ramp to be able to gain vision, so that Marines at the bottom shoot up at the top. Here he comes in with the smoke group. They're just going to be destroyed. Now that there's these 2 tanks and a Hellion, and Marines moved up with these 2 medevacs, this front door is pretty much solid at this point. No oacup, I think, knows that. But he's just continuing to pump out Marines and not do much else. But okay, now we see him finally building some refineries. He's going to be getting some gas, maybe researching some upgrades. With this amount of Marines that he can make, he could probably do quite a few drops that CuePhoenix wouldn't be prepared for. CuePhoenix is feeling pretty back on the back foot. He's building some more barracks. He's now up to 4 barracks. This one getting another tech lab. Looks like he's going to be making a bunch of Marauders. We'll see what he puts on this one. You can see he's getting supply blocked and having to drop down these extra little supply attachments here to the supply depots. Stocking up on energy. He needs to be putting down some mules or doing something there. So CuePhoenix, you can see he's macroing pretty good, building a reactor on this barrack. So he's going to be building Marauders and Marines. oacup continuing to just stream Marines down into the center area, trying to make sure that that he knows when CuePhoenix moves out. This is good map control. So oacup has a lot of freedom right now. He can expand down to this lower area, or he can expand over these back rocks. He's going to have to break those down, take some Marines over there. He's starting to bank a lot of gas, so he could research stim and that combat shield, since he has so many Marines. And that's an advantage that CuePhoenix's Marines have right now, is they have that stim, they have that combat shield, so they can get a little extra punch. They can last a little bit longer with those extra hit points from the combat shield. And now he's built medevacs, and these medevacs are going to be able to heal those Marines, transport them around, give extra vision to these sieged up tanks. oacup needs to start moving up the tech tree if he's going to stand any chance of breaking in, although he may be just thinking, I'm going to sit back with these Marines and defend. These Marines, and of course all hiding behind this hiding smoking gas right here, can do a lot of damage to an unsuspecting force moving in. But I don't think CuePhoenix is planning to move out anytime soon. He's pulling these medevacs out just to see what's out here, to see where oacup is, if he's still got that force of Marines, or it looks like they aren't. And CuePhoenix started to also wonder, what am I going to do next? You know, probably the next thing is he needs to expand. He's got enough minerals to do it. He's got 600 minerals over here banked on the right, you can see, and needs to keep building SCVs. He's behind in the supply count. He feels behind. Looks like he's going to try to go for some drop. You know, at this point, CuePhoenix can't see everything that oacup is up to. oacup is just seeing this front little bit. He can see that there's a factory there. But CuePhoenix, if you look on the mini-map here, he can't see anything. He doesn't even know exactly where oacup is. So he's going to have to send this small drop of 2 siege tanks and 8 Marines over to this location over here, and then finally over to this location over here, because he doesn't know where oacup is. oacup breaking down the destructible rocks in his expansion, and CuePhoenix bringing just a couple of Marines on these destructible rocks for this expansion. This is going to take forever. oacup's continuing to build a massive amount of Marines here. His supply is up to 106. If we check out the Army Supply tab, though, he's only barely ahead of CuePhoenix because CuePhoenix has so much high-tech. Got so many medevacs and so many siege tanks. Let's take a look at the unit counting station. 6 siege tanks, 19 Marines, 5 medevacs, 9 Marauders. So CuePhoenix's production is starting to kick in here with this variety of buildings, building a variety of units, whereas oacup is still over here on these barracks. You can see he stopped building because if you look here, he's out of minerals. He really needs to expand in this back area, but little does he know that CuePhoenix has this drop going to the exact same place. So, oh, there comes the command center coming floating in. These SCVs are going to start mining, and this drop is going to come in right here and cause so much damage. We'll see if CuePhoenix can get the surprise on him and hopefully kill not too many units before the siege tanks siege up. But here they come. Oh, that siege tank's going to give him away, and now these SCVs are going to run away. oacup still has a couple of them routed still in. You can see these units coming in. He put it down. That was an interesting choice. These siege tanks are going to blow up these SCVs. Wow, a bunch of them right there. And now he's going to have to move that command center somewhere else. CuePhoenix even has some Marines to guard the high ground, but there's no worry there, as oacup has no tech except for these vanilla Marines coming out of this this base right here. So oacup has to feel under the gun now. Now he's under the attack. His base is being attacked. He's under siege. He's only got Marines. He's seen siege tanks. He's seen medevacs. He's seen Marauders. He's seen these Marines. He knows there's a varied force out there, and it looks like both of these players are going to go in for some kind of attack. So CuePhoenix sending his tanks out, ranging them up. He's got CISOs up. These Marines coming in. They're just going to circle around here. That's a very bad idea. He should have just brought them in close for attack. Now that these siege tanks are sieged up, they're just going to annihilate these Marines. Just getting destroyed. Medevacs healing, Vikings landing to do extra damage, and these Marines are just destroyed, annihilated. CuePhoenix at double the supply of oacup. And GG from oacup. He's giving up. He knows he's behind. That initial rush failed, as he just says right here. And CuePhoenix able to win his last game and push up into his division, up into having a little hard time with the menus here, push his way up into the top 25 of his division into rank 23, and you can see here from the summary screen that oacup had a higher actions per minute, but CuePhoenix was spending more resources than oacup and had a massive number of kills. That siege tank had 44 kills on it at the very end of that battle. So that hero siege tank by itself, 44 kills. That's just amazing. That's more than oacup's kills for the entire game. So that ends that game, and that ends CuePhoenix's run in Season 2, putting him in the top 25. That was his kind of a stretch goal for him, and that ends my time casting in Season 2 as well. So thanks for watching, and we'll see you guys next time.